What the f? Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome to my review for Serenity. This movie was directed by Stephen Knight, the director of Locke, and this movie stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Digimon Hansu, Jason Clarke, and others. And it tells the story of Baker Dill, played by McConaughey, a fisher with a very mysterious past. And that past comes back to haunt him in the form of his ex-wife, played by Anne Hathaway. She has since remarried to a douchey rich guy, and she has had enough of it, and wants Dill to kill him. And it's all downhill from there. On the surface, I should have loved this movie, because I love the cast. I love Locke from 2014, Stephen Knight's other movie. It should have been awesome. Instead, well, I wouldn't say this movie is bad. It certainly is not one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's just probably one of the most bizarre movies that I've seen in a long time. The twists and turns in this movie are so confusing that it would make Sigmund Freud go, how do I even begin with this? I will say the best part about this movie is Matthew McConaughey. I mean, it's McConaughey. I mean, the guy, you can't pay him to give a bad performance. I feel like at times he does tend to overact slightly, but for 90% of this movie, he is on point. He has this real world-weary quality to him. I mean, he's struggling to make ends meet in terms of keeping up his boat, finding fish, It's very tough. It's very tough, and McConaughey knows how to play that kind of tough but sensitive guy really well. I also like Digimon Hansu, who plays McConaughey's first mate. Hansu is normally a very good actor, and he's very good here. Hansu basically plays McConaughey's moral center throughout this movie, and whenever the two were on screen, I was like, I want to see more of this. But that's where the positives end for me, because in terms of the rest of the acting, it's kinda hit or miss. For example, Anne Hathaway. She was just collecting a paycheck. Now granted, Anne Hathaway's very talented. In Les Miserables, she is awesome. Just in this movie, she had that as long as I'm collecting a paycheck face. And that goes double for Jason Clarke, who is pretty much the stereotypical drunk, rich a-hole. That's pretty much his entire role. I can't even remember the dude's name. You might as well have just written drunk, rich a-hole in the credits. But mostly not so good acting aside, I was kind of on board with this movie. Like the first third, I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I want to inquire further. And so the movie just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then it takes a hard left. And I'm not talking about oh, we're gonna turn left now. It's basically a without spoiling anything, this movie makes a decision that is just going to turn the movie off for 90% of you. I saw this movie with my dad, and when we were driving home, I was like, I didn't get that twist. I mean, what was that all about? And he kind of explained it to me as, well, this, and this, which led to this. And at the same time, I was like, okay, I kind of get it. The message of the movie is fine. How it was handled was incredibly sloppy. For my final thoughts, I think the best way that I can describe Serenity is the right recipe, but with the wrong cook, the wrong kitchen, and just the wrong restaurant, quite frankly. I'm going to give it a forgettable rating. I think that this twist is going to turn a lot of people off and forget it just as quickly. If this were just a mystery thriller featuring this cast, I would have been so on board you would have no idea. But they tried to take a risk, and while it was admirable, this is a movie based on an original idea from what I could tell. And so in that regards, I do respect them for trying to tell a new story. However, the new story was not very good. I can't give it a horrid rating just because Like I said, McConaughey is doing a good job, and some of the shots in the movie were quite good. I just think once that movie takes a hard left, it's going to just be like, stick a fork in it, it's done. But that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has watched and liked my video for the ending of Glass and why it sucked. That was a complete one-off, and it turned out to be a lot better traffic than I had previously thought. So thank you for watching. But if you liked this video, please be sure to leave a like, and if you saw this movie, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.